Hello everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Stories. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today we're talking about something I absolutely love: football. Or, as our American friends say, soccer.
That's right. And not just any football. Today the topic is Brazil, the most successful team in World Cup history.
The most successful? So how many times have they actually won?
5 times. Nobody else has won the World Cup 5 times. Brazil really is the king of this tournament.
5 titles. That's incredible. And I heard one more amazing fact: is it true they have never missed a World Cup?
It's completely true. Since the very first World Cup in 1930, Brazil is the only country that has played in every single tournament. Every one.
Wow. So if there's a World Cup, Brazil is there.
Exactly. So today, let's tell the whole story: the champions, the legends, the magical teams, and also the heartbreaks. Don't worry, we'll explain the difficult words as we go.
Sounds perfect. Where do we start?
Let's go all the way back to one of the saddest days in Brazilian history. A day that, strangely, changed everything.
Okay, so what happened in 1950? You said it was sad.
In 1950, Brazil hosted the World Cup for the first time. They built a giant new stadium in Rio de Janeiro called the Maracanã.
And they were the favorites, I guess?
Huge favorites. In the final match, they only needed a draw to win the title. They were playing Uruguay in front of about 200,000 fans.
200,000. That's like a small city inside one stadium.
And Brazil scored first. Everyone thought it was over. But then Uruguay scored twice and won 2-1. The whole country went silent.
Oh no. So close. What do people call that game?
They call it the Maracanazo, the Maracana blow. It's still one of the most painful days in Brazilian sport.
You mentioned earlier that this sad day changed something. What do you mean?
Well, back then Brazil played in white shirts. After this defeat, people felt the white kit was unlucky. So they held a competition to design a new one.
Let me guess, the famous yellow shirt.
Exactly. The yellow shirt with green and blue shorts, the colors of the Brazilian flag. Today that yellow shirt is one of the most famous in the world.
So something beautiful came out of something painful. I love that.
Now we get to the happy part. 8 years after the heartbreak, Brazil went to the 1958 World Cup in Sweden, and they brought a teenager with them.
A teenager? In a World Cup?
A 17-year-old named Pelé. Most people had never heard of him. But he scored in the quarterfinal, 3 goals in the semifinal, and 2 in the final.
At 17? That's younger than some of my students.
Brazil beat the host, Sweden, 5-2 in the final. It was Brazil's first ever World Cup title. And a legend was born.
Finally. After the pain of 1950, they got their reward.
And 4 years later, in 1962, they did it again in Chile. But this time Pelé got injured early in the tournament.
So who saved them?
A magical player called Garrincha. His nickname was the Little Bird. He had crooked legs, but he could dribble past anyone. He was unstoppable.
So even without their biggest star, they were strong enough to win.
That's the sign of a great team. They have more than one hero. 2 titles in a row, 1958 and 1962.
Back-to-back champions, right? That's the phrase?
Perfect English, Jack. Yes, back-to-back means 2 times in a row.
Okay, Emma, I've heard people say the 1970 Brazil team was the best team of all time. Is that just an opinion, or is it true?
Many experts really believe it. The 1970 World Cup was in Mexico, and it was the first World Cup shown on TV in color around the world.
Ah, so people could finally see that yellow shirt in color.
Exactly. And what they saw was football like art. Pelé was now a mature star, and around him were players like Jairzinho, Tostão, Gerson, and the captain, Carlos Alberto.
That's a lot of names. Were they really that special together?
They won all 6 of their matches. In the final, they beat Italy 4-1. And the last goal is maybe the most famous team goal in history.
Tell me about it.
Almost the whole team touched the ball, passing it patiently across the pitch. Then Pelé laid the ball perfectly to the side, and Carlos Alberto came running and smashed it into the net.
That sounds like teamwork and beauty at the same time.
That's the perfect description. And because this was Brazil's 3rd title, they were allowed to keep the original trophy forever.
Wait, you can keep the World Cup trophy?
Back then, the rule was, win it 3 times and it's yours. So Brazil kept the famous Jules Rimet trophy. After that, a new trophy was made.
So after 1970, how long did Brazil wait for the next title?
A long time, 24 years. The next title came in 1994, at the World Cup in the United States.
24 years is a long wait for a country that loves football so much.
It really is. In 1994 the star was a striker called Romario, small, clever, and deadly in front of goal. The final against Italy was very tense and finished 0-0.
0-0? So how did they decide the winner?
A penalty shootout, the first time a World Cup final was decided that way. The Italian star Roberto Baggio missed the last penalty, and Brazil were champions for the 4th time.
That must have been so stressful to watch. Okay, and 2002?
2002 is one of my favorites. The World Cup was in South Korea and Japan, and Brazil had 3 brilliant attackers people called the 3 Rs.
3 Rs? Let me guess, Ronaldo?
Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho. Ronaldo was the main man. A few years earlier his career was nearly destroyed by injuries, but in 2002 he came back and scored 8 goals in the tournament.
8 goals. What a comeback story.
In the final, Brazil beat Germany 2-0, and Ronaldo scored both goals. That was Brazil's 5th title, and it's still their most recent one.
So everyone who says 5-time champions, that 5th star came in 2002.
Exactly. 5 gold stars above the badge, 1 for each title.
We've had a lot of glory so far. But every great team has bad days too, right?
Of course. Let's be honest about the painful moments too. In 1998, Brazil reached the final in France, but they lost 3-0 to the host country.
3-0 in a final is a heavy defeat. What went wrong?
It's still a mystery. On the day of the final, Ronaldo became ill. He played, but he wasn't himself, and the whole team looked nervous. People still argue about what really happened.
So that's why his comeback in 2002 meant so much.
Exactly, he turned a sad story into a happy ending. But the hardest day of all came in 2014.
2014, that was when Brazil hosted the World Cup again, wasn't it?
Yes. The whole country dreamed of winning at home. But in the semi-final, they met Germany, and they lost 7-1.
7-1? In a semi-final? That's almost impossible to imagine.
Germany scored 5 goals in about half an hour. Brazilian fans were crying in the stadium. People now call that game the minirazzo.
That word sounds like Maracanazo from 1950.
Good ear. It's the same idea, a shocking defeat at home. And to make it worse, their star Neymar was injured and couldn't play.
So even the kings of football have known real pain.
And that's why we love sport. Great highs, hard lows, and the courage to try again.
Emma, we've mentioned so many great names. If someone is new to football, which Brazilian legends should they really know?
Great question. Number 1 is Pelé. He won 3 World Cups, no other player has done that. Many people simply call him the king.
3 World Cups. That record may never be broken.
Then there's Garrincha, the dribbler we talked about, Ronaldo, the great striker, and Ronaldinho, who played with a huge smile and amazing tricks.
I've seen old videos of Ronaldinho. He looked like he was just having fun.
And that's the key to Brazilian football. They have a phrase, jógo bonito, which means the beautiful game.
So it's not only about winning, it's about how you win?
Exactly. Brazilians want to win with style, with skill, with joy. Football for them is like dancing, you can even hear samba rhythm in the way they play.
Where does that style come from?
A lot of it comes from the streets and the beaches. Many famous players grew up playing with cheap balls, or even balls made of socks, on small pieces of ground.
So poverty didn't stop them, it actually shaped their creativity.
Beautifully said. When you have small space, you learn quick feet and clever tricks. That creativity became Brazil's gift to world football.
So Brazil's last title was 2002. What's happened in the more recent World Cups?
Honestly, it's been a bit frustrating for the fans. In 2006, 2010, 2018, and 2022, Brazil reached the quarter-finals but couldn't go further.
The quarter-finals are still very good, though, the last 8 teams in the world.
True. But for Brazil, the expectation is always to win. Anything less feels like a disappointment to them.
That's the price of being the most successful team ever, I suppose. And what about Neymar?
Neymar has been Brazil's biggest star for over a decade. In fact, he has now scored more goals for Brazil than anyone in history, even more than Pelé.
He passed Pelé's scoring record? That's huge.
It is. But here's the interesting part, a World Cup title is the one big prize he hasn't won yet.
So even a record breaker still dreams of that trophy.
That's the magic of the World Cup. And the good news is that Brazil keeps producing young, exciting talent. New stars appear all the time.
So you think a 6th title will come one day?
I wouldn't bet against them. When you have this much history and passion, you're always dangerous. The hunt for star number 6 continues. Okay Jack, let's do a quick recap for our learners. Can you remember how many World Cups Brazil has won?
5. 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, and 2002.
Perfect. And they're the only team to play in every World Cup. Now, one painful day, can you name it?
The Maracanazo in 1950, when they lost the final match at home. And also the 7-1 against Germany in 2014.
Excellent memory. And what is the famous Brazilian style called?
Jogo bonito, the beautiful game. Winning with style and joy.
You've been a great student today, Jack.
And you've been a great teacher. I learned a lot about football and about life. Highs, lows, and never giving up.
That's the perfect note to end on. To everyone watching, thank you for spending this time with us.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment with your favorite player, and subscribe for more stories.
Try repeating some of today's sentences out loud, that's the best way to improve your speaking. Until next time.
Keep learning and keep enjoying English. Bye.